What do you do after Christmas and you realize your kids have too many toys? Come with me, it's time for me to show you. So for starters, our building boxes here are going to be 48 by 22, I believe it was. If you're wondering, now yes, granted, I probably could have just taken the time to look up some specs or whatever plans online. But I used my trusty pal Sid, ChatGPT. Use whatever AI platform you want. But when you are inside of Lowe's or whatever your favorite hardware store is, it's easy for you to have these AI platforms, if you will, because you can upload pictures, do whatever you need to do. You can get exact specs of what you need, and you don't have to spend a whole lot of time wondering, man, do I have the right thing? Am I doing it right? Is it going to look good when I'm done with it? I don't want it to look trashy, etc., etc. So for starters, I'm going to build the legs on here. I did go with more expensive wood because I want it to look good, but I also don't want to spend hours sanding. I feel this is going to be take the box dimensions, if you will. You're going to have the box, and then you're going to have legs on all four sides, so it sits up off the ground a little bit, and that's what I'm doing right now. So for starters, get your square, measuring tape, I use a pencil, there's a few sharp on the wood. You don't need to, but it's personal choice. I'm going to make my first cut here. 42 inches, like I said. And as you can tell, compared to other wood, like normal 2x4 is just standard stuff. This is pine, like I said, so it's got that smooth finish already. It's not something you really have to fucking mess with too much. But right here, not a lot of burrs. It's smooth, so it's paint or stain ready. And when I make my cut, there's not a whole bunch of, there's nothing I have to do. It's done. So I'm gonna make all my cuts. Once we make all the cuts of all the wood, we're just gonna plug and play, screw everything together, and be good to go. By 6 foot. Now we got two. It's good to have at least a little bit of extra to make a miscut. Something doesn't line up or precision. Alright, so first one's done, and it gave me my 3 separate cuts. 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to do the rest. So now I have my 8 cuts of my 1x3 at 22 inches a piece. So when you're looking at it, right, you're gonna have them and they're gonna look somewhat like this, kind of make like an L shape almost. And this is going to be the corners of the box. So as you can tell, we're going 22 inches up for the height of the box. It's more of a deep storage box. I didn't go with a long storage box because that takes up too much space. So now we have our 8 legs. So the next thing we're going to do, or the next cuts we're going to make, are these 1x6s. So if you're looking at the box, right, these are going to sit just like this, and they'll stack 1, 2, 3, etc. However high the box needs to go. I didn't do one single piece of like plywood, if you will, a single sheet to make it all look like there was. I went for more like a farmhouse design, if you will, so it has different slats that build on top of each other. So I have 1x6s here. And we need to cut 16 of these at 48 inches a piece. That is going to be the front and back walls of storage. First in here, 48 inches. I went 1x6s because it's going to be enough excess on the ends, which are going to be the side panels of the boxes. Inches. Let the saw do the work first of all, but let it go through all the way to the end of the wood and let the blade finish its cut, so that way you don't end up with a bunch of spurs. Pro tip, if you will. But we're going to make our 16 cuts, 48 inches for our front and back panels, and we'll get to the rest. Stand by. So next, we have our 16 cuts of the 1x6 at 48 inches. Now we're going to do the side panels. So take your same leftover 1x6s and you're going to measure out 23 inches for 16 of them. And you're going to make 16 additional cuts. Tedious, but this is the price you pay when you come sort of big, right? So make your mark, inches, 6 that we had, you have an inch left over on each one, which is easy to just scrap, which is why I enjoyed, like I said, utilizing your favorite AI platform of choice. It's going to be a lot more exact with measurements, and you're going to have a lot less waste. And when you're dealing with pine, 1x6, is it 1x6x6? I think I got $17 a board for those. I ran it if you're military, it's going to be still, it adds up, right? If you can, in the long run, not spend as much because you buy extra, and you know, return, but if you make cuts on the board, inch left on each one. You're going to take all your other 16 pieces that you will eventually cut 23 inches a piece, and you're going to have your side panels. Tidbit I like is if you were to look at the board right here, it might be kind of hard to see, but you can see right here on the ends of it, it's almost somewhat damaged, and the factory edge doesn't look as good as a new clean cut edge on the pine. Take the parts on the ends that are messed up on your final cuts and cut those off so you have a cleaner finish. Alright, so the last cuts we have to make is for internal framing, which we're using 1x2s to accomplish that. So the first cuts that I need to make are going to be 47 inches total. So I got 1 by 8 feet, 1 by 2 by 8s. That's how much I need for both boxes. So on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these boxes here, and I have a total of 4 cuts at 47 inches. Two out of these are 8 feet, 47. Just showing the 47, and we need 4 of these. So we'll take 2 boards to get to. We got 2. Knock out these last 2. And a few more cuts to make. I always like to do my cuts up front, no matter if I'm going to sit like my focus or not. It's just easier to have it cuts done, so I'm not coming back to my side. So I always do my cuts. Okay, so we have our 4 pieces at the 47 inches. Now our last cuts are going to be, let's see here. We have 4 at 23 inches, and then we're going to have 4 at 46 and 4 at 22. So I'm going to get through this real quick, come right back, but like I said, we have 4 of these at 23 inches, we'll have 4 at 46 and 4 at 22. And then we'll be done with our cuts. Alright, although I said I was done, it was a JK moment, right? We have one last thing we need to do, which is going to be the tops and bottoms got a sanded piece of plywood, a 4x8 sheet. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make the cutouts for the bottom of the toy box and then the top of the toy box as well. The first cut that we're going to do is going to be 2 cuts at 47 by 23. So, seeing as this is our longer image here, we'll take our 47 from this part in length, which is width. So we'll go 47 out. Like to make it as close as I can to my marker 47 out. Put it up to 23. Right. What I'm going to do normally is I'm going to take this and I'll go 23 inches up somewhere else randomly throughout my mark. And that way I can take my long ruler and I can make my full line measurements. You always ask, why do I do that? Well, yes, I know how to do some carpentry things. However, it's just easier for me to using skill sets. That's not what we want. We're trying our best here to make it look professional. So there's our line. First put out. Box would have been all jacked up. Places on this one, just by nature of wood. So we'll redo that one. Not a very good one. So I said I would double check this stuff. Sure I'm going to have enough. So these two will make one, and then you have this other sheet. So now you're going to take your skill saw. Put into my sawhorses here. Line your guy up. Make sure you follow the line all the way down. stuff. So that way I'm not sitting here measuring and hoping, oh, it should be the same. I measure quite different every single time. I'm going to take my other foot off. I'm just going to measure exactly. And then I just cut. That way I know they're the same for both boxes. Finished cut, so to the side. Come over here and do the same thing. Cut this one out. And we have 2 more cuts to make on this piece of plywood, which is going to give us the bottoms of our box. Get there in a second. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to take our 47-inch 1x2s that we had, and our 23-inch 1x2s, and we are going to make the bottom of the box. So make sure you have yourself a little bit of wood glue. Right. And we're using 2-inch Spax Construction multi-material screws. I that because it's just the weapon of choice that I like to use when it comes to building this stuff, right? So you take a little bit of wood glue, put a little shot of that on the end of your 23-inch board, and you're going to line it up with your 47-inch one. And if you have a speed square, comes in handy here. I don't. So I'll take my 2-inch Spax that I have, and to be honest with you, lift this up, use my hand to hold it in place as I can. So at least get this seated and started with the screw. Nothing crazy, and now the glue is just an extra hold. And what we're going to do, we're going to build all 4 corners. Your 23 inches need to go on the inside of your 47 inches, and then you have your box. Alright, so now we're going to take our 1x3s, as you can see right here, in our box. Alright, take our 1x3s, these are our outer verticals, so everything is going to slide in place. So you're going to take your 1x3, you're going to put it on the outside of your 47-inch 1x2, and you're going to, I'm pre-drilling holes because I did crack a little bit right here. Thinking I was going to be fine, but I was not fine. So I take my little pre-driller, and I'm going to put 2 screws in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2-inch Spax screw again. This is too long. I'm not sure what, so why did we do that? And I'm going to take nothing. I think I'm going to use 1.5-inch Spax that I'm going to grab here. I'm going to put these in place. Because these are going from the outside in. Make sure it's square here. And $1.25 we're going to buy. So, change 13. Little baby. Take my 1.25 Spax here. our trusty blue glue is going to go right here on the inside of the posts, 1x3, and we're going to line this up square. Take our 1/4 inch back screws, impact drill, and we're going to put these in place. Two of these in place on each, and you're going to do 2 on the front, and you're going to do 2 on the back. And what this is going to do is it's going to short everything up, but it's going to allow our 1x3 and 1x6 fronts and backs to slide here perfectly. And then they are going to, now with the inner part of the frame, and the inner parts right here are slats, if you will. These guys are going to slide in right here, boom, like such. And we're just going to go all the way. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to put our front and back slats on. And then we're going to do our side slats. So for starters, we'll start with, I don't know if it's front and back yet, so I'm going to start with. And if you're wondering, because it is slightly visible, right? I have a little bit of overhang right here. And then I'm going to decide if it's something I want to keep or if it's something I just want to take a router and cut off at the ends. But for now, I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to take couple holes here. I need about 2 per. And I'm going to take my 1/4 inch back screws again. And I'm going to put these boards in place. Now, if we have overhang, we want to make sure it's pretty even on both sides, which it should be. Here, and we're going to put them in place. Now, make sure you do both sides before moving on to the next one. And make sure that it lines up on the fronts and backs to the best of what you're capable of doing. You want it to be pretty level on the board. It's not going to be perfect because the board's bent a little bit. The other side. Screws. That. Take your next back panel. Slide it right on top. It lines up on both sides, and rinse and repeat for your holes. And I'm always doing it on the inside because I don't want to see it on the outside. So aesthetics matter. Which one's on the inside? Nobody cares about that, right? So I'll take this. I'm done. Here with the bottom one, back to the other side, and I'll speed this part up. It's probably more. So all the same thing, all the way up to the top. Push the front and the slats out. Alright, so now as you can see, we have the fronts and the backs. Had to do a little bit of extra cutting up on the tops in order to make it flush for the top of the lid, right? Now what we're going to do, we're going to take our side panels. They are probably a smidge too big, so I might take a 1/4 inch off of each, just to make sure it fits on there flush. That's what I'm going to do right now. You're okay? Alright. So we're doing the edge panels, wood trim, small rounds, large rounds, short, and then use waste of the panel. So little, here take your fingernail, like on the edge of the wood with a pencil. Alright, so now we have the first one in place. It's going to be 2 inches going into your outer posts, your inner wood, your inner liners, whatever you want to call them, your slats. Right? And then you're going to take your 2-inch screws, and these are going to come from the outside. You need 2 of them, and bang. Just make sure you look. It should level up, line up. It should line up with the edge of your posts for the most part because you kept it flush at the bottom. So take your drill, you're going to freeze out your holes, and you're going to put 2 screws in each on each side all the way up. Now, this one might actually not need these brass nails. Probably should for the clean finish. You want holes on the outside, or do you prefer there not to be any holes?
Is it easier to have holes on the outside?
I can do either way.
I'd rather there not be holes, but
Alright.
you're
So,
going to the beating in.
stop doing that. Fucking A, guy. Hello. Thank you. Okay, stop tracking me. Alright. So, you get your nail gun. Let's see what's this. Because you want to make sure you go far enough in to where it's going to do the job. Brad nails. Somewhere. So we'll take your brad nails. I am gonna go probably a little larger on this one. That's what we're gonna do. So now that we're doing, I'm going to do these instead of the spike screws. You want to go probably 3 or 4 deep on each one for extra security. And on this one, I would highly recommend that you batteries are dying. Come on, friend. Thank you. Highly recommend that you use wood glue on the inner parts of the slats here for extra support. Right? So we'll take a nail gun of choice, take a little wood glue on the edges of this guy right here, put it on both sides. And this one over here. Bottom post, take the nail gun, line it up. Boom. In place. A few. 3. Misses are never fun. That's okay as long as it doesn't get your finger right. Now you have 3 on each, I think, roughly. I'm gonna fix this one. So if you ever have a miss, get you a pair of trusty dice, cut it off, and go ahead and put them in. Now, because my kids are gonna be around this, the goal is to get rid of those things completely. It's gonna be difficult, guys, but we're gonna have it. And then you're going to take your nail gun again. Make sure you don't miss this time. And boom. Now you're sturdy in place. And I'm going to have to go back through with the rest of my side slats probably. It's just barely off. So what I'll do is I'll come over here. Over and snug is good. too snug because you don't want to flare out the edges, but a little bit is okay. Take your wood glue. Now we're going to slide this guy in place. Place, have our nail gun. Boom. The other side, roll it up. And boom. So now you go all the way up, cut whatever excess off that you need, and make it look pretty. Okay, so before top and bottom goes on, this is what you have for set toe box. Okay? So we're flush right here. A little gap right here, but it's not gonna hurt anything because I'm gonna put a piece of foot all the way around, check the kid's fingers. And now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift it up and turn it over. So I want to see the top since it's not perfect. The bottom has that perfect square. And the bottom is going to have a piece of plywood. Slap that on, and then we're going to put the top on. So we'll get to that here in just a second. Alright, so here we go. Final. It's not painted, but got the hinges installed. We have did the pistons right here just for safety for the kids. And then obviously we have the bottom down there. This comes down kind of a big of a slam, but when I put the felt on there, it'll be fine. And then when they go to lift it up, it'll spring and stop itself rather than them flinging it and hitting the wall.